always we do Money Mandate. It's one of the most amazing program of the 60P Students and One Club. We have Andy Jiménez, Victor Cataño, our new 60P certified coach, Gregory Denizar, our new also 60P certified coach. We have Marcin with us, and we have also the team today. So let me see if I can meet more people. So part of the program. We have the honor to also put together a complete oral practicum and complete examination for Rosario Barre, who's our CTP Stillness and When a Glove. I'm going to show you the amazing um, program that we did yesterday, just briefly, before introducing our Guy Master of today. And we had yesterday the celebrations of having the 60P PL coaching certifications. We congratulate Victor Catano, Grego Denizar, Rosario Manriel, and Lawrence Cores after a complete oral examination, brutal oral examinations about the most important book that have influenced us through the last 2 years, and also after passing the practicum, so that we can really use our original component. I believe it's one of the best program that now exists and gonna give to the whole community, to the 8 million community. Within the scaling program by Dr. Hardy, we have the big goal to have $1 million by December 31st of this year. We bring in the Money Monday on Monday with Andy Jimenez. We also bring in the Congress on Sunday, and we are bringing people that will help us to scale, people that will be kind of important coaches from, if we can bring the program to schools, to institutions, to company, and to family, application experts that will help us out to get an application the way we want it, to bring the 60P pill to humanity. And also, we want marketing experts that will bring their expertise and information. Dr. Reich is also ready to help us out with his expertise on mental health and art and culture. So we're very happy to have our new 4 certified 60P pill. So one of the amazing programs that we have had during the last 20 session, which is 20 sessions is a lot, is 20 week, is the Andy Jimenez program, the Money Monday, that we wanted to do together, and go with Debbie Ramsey, have the best influencer, one of the most amazing experts on money for the people. I say, is the money for the people kind of guy that you have to master. You have to master Davy Ramsey before, and then you can do whatever you want. You can do once you have the minimum baby steps, then you can play with your money and you can give more. So, without further ado, I will introduce Andy Jimenez, who's going to be a tremendous influence. He is the RunFit CEO. We have a partnership with him, and I know we also going to grow. It's going to be part of the company that we hope that can scale. We're using the Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Blake Edison framework from the beginnings, and from 4/4 of this year, April 4th, changed completely who we do. And we now have a complete program applied that we will introduce in the middle of the program when uh, Andy can give us the chance. So without further ado, I welcome you, welcome everybody, and I will welcome Andy Jimenez to the 60P Stillness and Wellness Club. Andy.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Pina, for that introduction. And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to share the Money Mondays this morning. And I believe we have a great lesson to show you today. Um, and it deals with making profits. And let me set up my presentation so you can get started. Everyone, and welcome.
My name is Andy Jiménez. I serve as a servant coach in financial stewardship here in the Stillness and Wellness Club, founded by Dr. Pina and the rest of the Stillness and Wellness team. Welcome to Money Mondays. Money Mondays is a part of the Stillness and Wellness Club, and the purpose is simple but powerful: to help you not only generate more income, but also become a better manager of the income you already receive. We are fighting real battles in today's world. We're fighting inflation. We're fighting constant fees from banks and institutions. We're fighting poor financial systems. We are navigating the rise of artificial intelligence. And often, we're fighting ourselves, our habits, our behaviors, and our decisions that slowly undermine our financial stability. Money. Mondays exist to help each of us become excellent stewards of our money, while also discovering ethical, practical ways to generate more income. Income that doesn't just bless our lives, but also blesses our families and the people around us. The answers to your financial situation already exist. What matters now is application. Knowledge alone is not enough. It's only the starting point. What will make the difference is action. Here, we don't just learn, we apply. We will move as a group. We will hold each other accountable. We will make clear plans. We will set deadlines. And we will follow through on the commitments we make. Because information that is not applied has no power. Without action, nothing changes. And we refuse to stay stuck. That is the purpose of Money Mondays. This is an exclusive space, an intentional space, a place where you will receive valuable insight, not only from the collective experience within this group, but from timeless principles taught by men and women who mastered money and left behind a blueprint for success. We build on a biblical foundation, not because the Bible is only a spiritual book, but because it is the most complete economic blueprint ever given. For thousands of years, it has documented how people built wealth, managed resources, avoided destruction, and created lasting provision. So we welcome you. We're grateful that you're here. We value your voice, your insight, and your participation. Before we move forward, I want to take a moment to reset the room. Money Mondays isn't meant to feel rushed, noisy, or overwhelming. It's meant to be a space of stillness, a place where we slow down enough to think clearly, listen carefully, and apply what matters. Let's take a moment of stillness. If you're able, place both feet on the floor, sit up straight but relaxed. We will be doing 4-4-8 counts. Gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale slowly through your mouth for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, releasing tension for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Breathe in, steady and calm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out, letting go of distractions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you breathe, remind yourself, I am present, I am focused, I am ready to receive and apply. You can gently open your eyes. Scripture tells us in James 1:22, do not merely listen to the word, do what it says. Stillness prepares us to act with clarity. I want to share one of the most impactful books I've ever read on business and money management, Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. One of the concepts he uses is something we can all understand. Researchers have discovered that most people naturally fill their plates and then finish everything on them. Rather than trying to change that behavior, which is hard to do, The easier solution is simply to use a smaller plate. You still fill the plate, you still eat everything on it. But because the plate is smaller, you consume fewer calories. The lesson is simple. Don't fight human nature. Change the structure around it. Instead of trying to overcome deeply ingrained habits, create systems that work with those habits. And that's exactly how Profit First works. In my experience for years, every dollar in my business went into one operating account, and we spent it all. Looking back, I thought I was good with money. The truth is, I wasn't. In the business I run with my wife, we would deposit $15,000 to $20,000 a month and then wonder where all the money went. Every quarter would come around and we had little or no profit to show for all of our hard work. I thought maybe I needed to be more frugal. Maybe I just needed to become a better money manager. Because if things continued this way, eventually the business would not survive. Making sales wasn't the problem. Finding inventory wasn't the problem. The problem was that after all the work, there was no money left. The more we made, the more we spent. If we had $1,000, we'd find a way to spend it. If we had $20,000, we'd find a way to spend that too. And that's simply human nature. The government understands this. The US government understands this principle. That's why federal taxes, state taxes, and Social Security are taken from your paycheck before you ever see the money. They know that once money hits your account, collecting it becomes much harder. Millions of people already live this way. People contribute to a 401k and somehow they learn to live on what's left. Profit First uses the exact same principle. Take your profit first and then learn to operate with the remainder. You need to create a smaller plate for your business. A smaller plate in business simply means a smaller operating budget. Instead of giving yourself access to all the money, you intentionally remove some of it. That's what I needed. I needed separate accounts that weren't easy to access, accounts that created friction, accounts where I could separate profit, taxes, and owner's pay before paying bills. Because most of us have a tendency to pay everyone else first and leave ourselves last. Profit First teaches us to reverse that. Most businesses follow the traditional accounting based on generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP formula. Sales minus expenses equals profit. Whatever is left over becomes profit. Unfortunately, for many businesses, nothing is left over. Profit First doesn't reject GAAP accounting, it simply introduces a different cash management philosophy. Profit First flips the equation. Sales minus profit equals expenses. Profit is no longer an afterthought. Profit becomes the priority. Be profitable now, not someday. Profit First is like a healthy diet. A healthy diet has 4 principles and they apply directly to business. 1. Use smaller plates. Smaller plates create smaller portions. Smaller portions create fewer calories. Fewer calories lead to weight loss. In business, smaller plates mean allocating money into different accounts so that your operating expenses only receive a portion of the income. 2. Serve food in a specific order. Nutrition experts tell us to eat vegetables first because if we save them for last, we often never eat them. The same is true with money. Always move money in this order. Profit first. Owner's pay second. Taxes third. Operating expenses last. Always. No exceptions. And if there isn't enough money left for expenses, that does not mean you pull money from the other accounts. It means your business is telling you something important. You cannot afford those expenses. That's painful, but it's healthy. Your business is screaming for change. 3, remove temptation. Remove junk food from the house and you'll probably eat better. I love Little Debbie oatmeal creme pies. If they're in my house, I will devour them. So the solution is simple. Don't keep temptation nearby. The same is true with money. Move your profit account and tax account somewhere that makes them difficult to access. As James Clear says in Atomic Habits, the fourth law of behavior change is make it difficult. Make it hard to steal from yourself. Because borrowing from your profit account is really just stealing from your future. 4. Enforce a rhythm. Healthy people don't wait until they're starving to eat. They eat consistently. Profit first teaches the same thing. Don't pay bills randomly whenever money piles up. Instead, establish a rhythm. Pay bills twice a month. For example, the 10th, the 25th. This creates awareness. You begin to see where money is actually going. This is controlled cash management, not seat of your pants management. How to get started. Step 1, set up 4 accounts. Start with 4 basic accounts. Profit account, owners, pay account, tax account, operating expense account. Your existing checking account can become your operating expense account. Savings accounts can temporarily hold profit and tax money. The purpose isn't investment. The purpose is separation. Step 2, create 2 external accounts. Open 2 savings accounts at another bank. Profit savings account, tax savings account. These accounts should be away from your day-to-day banking. Out of sight, out of mind. The goal is to remove temptation. Step 3, remove convenience. Don't make these accounts easy to access. You don't need checks. You don't need debit cards. You don't even need to constantly look at them online. Their purpose is simple: to receive money and protect it. Final thought. The book Profit first taught me how to transform a business from a cash-eating monster into a money-making machine. Most people know these principles. Very few actually put them into practice. The goal isn't to become profitable someday. The goal is to become profitable now. Take your profit first and force your business to adapt to what remains. Because healthy businesses, just like healthy bodies, are built through systems, not willpower. As we wrap up today's Money Monday lesson, I want to leave you with a few questions to think about. Remember, knowledge alone doesn't change our lives. Reflection leads to awareness, and awareness leads to action. So grab a notebook, open your journal, or simply take a few moments to think honestly about these questions. Question number 1. Where in my finances or business am I relying on willpower instead of creating a system that makes success more likely? Am I hoping things will somehow get better, or have I actually put systems in place that support better decisions? Question number 2. Am I paying myself first, or am I paying everyone else first and leaving myself whatever is left over? Have I made profit a priority, or is profit simply an afterthought? Question number 3. What expenses in my life or business might be revealing that I simply cannot afford them right now? Could my cash flow challenges actually be my finances trying to tell me something? Question number 4. What temptation do I need to remove to protect my future finances? What barriers or friction do I need to create so that I stop stealing from tomorrow to pay for today? Question number 5. What one action can I take this week to create a healthier financial system instead of hoping my finances improve on their own? Maybe it's opening separate accounts. Maybe it's reviewing expenses. Maybe it's finally implementing profit first. Whatever it is, write it down and commit to taking that step. And I'll leave you with today's challenge question. Challenge question: What if the answer to my financial struggles isn't making more money, but learning to manage the money I already have differently? Think about that. Because perhaps the problem isn't that more money needs to come in. Perhaps the solution is learning to give every dollar a purpose. And remember, profit isn't what is left over. Profit is what you take first. Let's take 2 minutes to reflect and answer this journaling question.
You can put it in the chat. Our chat, Andy,
Yes.
separately.
Time is up. Let's answer our journaling question for today. Good morning, everyone, and welcome.
Let me make sure that this question is in the chat. All right. Good morning, everyone. And hope you guys got something out of that lesson. Who'd like to start us off this morning?
I can start this question. It's if it's making more money or if it's making managing the money that we have. And also it's an invitation for probably next Monday. And they can uh, present in the amazing way you do it and the amazing video that we have to all learn for the 60P program. The science of scaling of Dr. Hardy, Benjamin Hardy, and Erickson. because change completely the that who we are for the last 4 years. I'm reading it now for the fifth time, and we are repeating the book again officially as a 60p Stillness and Wellness Club. Um, so I know because you are an expert on, you know, detailing, taking into pieces and bringing it to us, it will be amazing to bring that book. But also will most likely contradict most of everything we have been doing from the beginning. But also we add a different science and scaling framework. You know, probably if I would have not read the science of scaling, to tell you the truth, I would say yes. I need an operate. I need different uh, way to manage my money, and where making more money will be the issue. So now what we discover is not making more money the issue, is making impossible money the issue, or not making impossible money the issue. Is that we get stagnated, we don't know what to do, we have less money because we don't dream high. And then if we don't make it impossible, we don't even get to that impossibility, which is have the money that we know, when we cannot necessarily now uh, worry about if the money that is in the bank is less or more. Thanks to you, first, I could go and pay the house, pay the cars, pay all credit cards, bring my son to a special position, graduating my wife. I have money now, not to worry what's going to happen with the money, where the money's going to go. Mm, because using the methodology of scaling by Dr. Hardy himself, I can see a better future. And not only I can see a better future, I was using 11 AI mental health program. And I said, well, I'm going to stop using this one because it's taking me too much time. It's noise. And then I would use constantly these two because it's easy to do. I see a patient, I click, it happened, done, two of them. Then these two or three I will do it bi-weekly, and that one I will do it by months. It's too much about that. And by doing that, everything started flourishing because I'm not worrying about that. I'm worrying about the number that I have. If we have in 60p is a $1 million impossible goal or be had, you know, and we're making a lot of money because we are going to that goal that we have never had, then my problem is not gonna be the profit, the money that I have or the profit that I have, because I will have a lot of more money than I ever wanted to. And then the question will be, is it less money or making more money or making impossible money, or the way we manage our money, which is also a different kind of system. You have to have a system in place to how you're gonna manage the money and how you're gonna manage the profits. So without this meditating your book, still uh, managing your money is gonna be probably a specialized component of the accountant or experts that can help you out what you're gonna do in bed, things like that, where necessarily then making more money have to be put into consideration without discarding the system for profits first, which is you have to take care of the money that you have, and without and adding is not making more money. The issue is making impossible money, one target behind a science, because now you will always have more money, because it's my goal is to have $500,000 every year. What about if I try to bring it to $1 million and I get to the $500,000, or I get to the 74,000 or to 750,000, or I get to the $1 million, because now I'm putting myself to double myself. And want my wife, I want your wife to also double the amount that you make, because sometimes it's like it's the psychology and strategy that we use in our business that is failing, so that we can do more and more. So my invitations, it's, check that book, bring that system, and I want you, because you're the guy, you're the genius in terms of presentation, that will test yourself, will test everything we have read with the science of scaling. We came from uh, Think and Grow Rich to James Clear, the Atomic Habits, to the Miracle Morning, to 5 a.m., to the most amazing books that we have read, more than 20, to Dr. Hardy, and it's completely, we could see in perspective everything that happened. Even the Money Makeover, which is a different kind of book, it's an amazing book. We can see it also in perspectives. When a book is being criticized, not criticized, introduced, have been reading a preface by Tony Robbins, and he wanted to read that book, and he wanted to buy Dr. Hardy. And when we see and we simplify our system, and we see how simplified the system I presented, we say, "Wow, we bingo, we have a winner here." So my invitation is, you know, go to that book, bring it to the masses. There is no way that the way you do it, nobody can do it, especially in the 60 piece Dinners Club, in who we are. And pay attention, as you do, to Hardy, and your life. We will see that your life and your fitness, run fitness, will change completely, and the way you do things and the way you deal with money and with project, with initiatives, completely also change. No, so I think that with your questions is what I see is making more money is still an issue. uh, Managing, having a system to manage your money, your profit, and now we have, how do we scale that, which is making impossible money, and I think that we can reflect on those three issues that you brought and add the making impossible money. And what is that about, which is beyond making money or managing your money. So anyway, but I can continue talking. So I'm gonna stop myself to let everybody have their answers too.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Pina, for sharing. Yeah, it's a lot there, and definitely going to be getting into more of the science of scaling. And I'd like to see who would like to tackle this journaling question next.
I'll go.
Victor.
Good morning, Your Handiness.
Good morning, Victor.
Um, I'm just going to read what I wrote because I've said a lot here. It says, "This is a keen area of focus in my life. We got accustomed to living a certain way when I was earning more income. While we have experienced many challenges, no one has starved here, and the Lord has blessed us to still be able to pay bills. Your question makes me realize that this happened through faith, not magically. We adopted your suggestion out of the necessity to survive. We are aware that God may not bless us with more if we can't manage the little that we have. I know that God has great plans for us, and in this value is where I must learn. And I'm sorry, in this valley is where I must learn to create that capacity through better discipline. Living in this sad reality will create sustainable systems for us to never land here again. And your suggestion through this lesson just served as confirmation for me and for my purpose."
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot there, but definitely the emphasis on this book is we can go ahead and make money, but we can have a different philosophy in terms of how we manage that money. And it was a philosophy that's helped me because it just seems like you can make a certain amount of money, but somehow, no matter what money comes into the account, it goes. And especially in business, you need to be profitable. You need to be able to pay yourself. And if it goes everywhere else and you don't know where it's going, it's hard to really know. You're basically functioning by the seat of your pants. So I think one of the concepts there is to an easy way to try to understand where your money is going is having your expenses paid 2 times out of the month. So using the 10th and the 25th, and using those 2 days to pay your expenses, and allocate everything to different accounts. But I definitely, hopefully, will get into more of this because the person who wrote the book struggled. He made a lot of money, but he couldn't say really where it went. So, and he almost went out of business because of it. So I think it's something that we definitely need together, and something that we need to practice. Who would like to tackle this question next?
I I will. I just kind of made a statement. A lot of rich questions, and I believe that they're important to answer. But I wrote that paying yourself first means treating savings as non-negotiable expense, not an afterthought. When you create your budget, placing savings at the top of the list, right along rent, utilities, and other fixed obligations, before a single dollar goes towards discretionary spending, a set amount moves into savings just as if it was a bill you're required to pay. This shifts in priority transforms savings from something you do if there's money left over into a guaranteed habit, building financial security and discipline over time. So thank you for the questions. I will complete them, but that's what my thoughts were because we live a life where savings gets equated to what's get left over. And after I bought Starbucks every day, after my kid needed money just to go hang out, savings get impacted. So making it a priority, shifting my goals. So paying myself first is a requirement.
Yes, excellent, excellent, Gregory. Yeah, if you make that a priority, making owners paying your profit first or savings first, you'll find that you'll have money left over, and you're almost obligated to say, okay, well, this is what I have left over, what I have to pay my bills. And if you find yourself short, it's kind of like a way of finding out how you shouldn't be short. Maybe there's something that you can do to fix, to adjust so that you can pay for your expenses. And it's like I mentioned in the 401k example, like the way the government takes money out of your check beforehand, and somehow after federal taxes, after state taxes, after city taxes, after 401k, everyone seems to be able to pay their bills with their net. Now, I imagine if those things weren't taken out and the person got the gross and was going to pay the federal and 401k afterwards, it's almost certain by human nature that you will spend all that money and it will not go to the 401k. It will not go to the federal government because we will find a way of spending it. So instead of going against human nature, we use it to take our money out first. And I think applying it the way you did is a good idea. And then you'll make the adjustments as you go. And making it in a way where also when you put the money away, you don't have easy access to it, finding a way of creating a barrier so that that's not touched, especially for taxes. Because sometimes people may skip paying their taxes if they have a business, and that could cause problems later on as well. So thank you, Gregory, for sharing. Appreciate it. Rosaura, you want to go next?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I wrote, I believe that the answer to my financial problem, in part, is behavior problem and not exactly the income. When I get my tax papers at the end of the year and I see how much I make, I always say, I make all of this money and where did it go? I part of the problem is that I don't track the spending. I don't know where the money go, and I don't have a system in place. Okay. I need to begin tracking every dollar and make better spending decision. As soon as I hear that we're getting more money or an increase or an extra check for some reason, I begin to make plans right away of how am I going to spend it. When my salary went up, I right away said, you know what, I don't want to live in this neighborhood. I thought about a better house, better car, and there's always a plan of how to spend the more money, whether small or big.
Yes. Yeah, just like you mentioned there, like you see, you looked at how much money you made, and you're like, wait a second, I made this money. I mean, I think if people looked at, let's say maybe how much they made in the last 10 years, and somebody would tell them this was your gross income for the last 10 years, a lot of people would be shocked. They'd be like, oh my goodness, I made this much money and I have nothing to show for it. And that's the whole concept of the book. And also when you hear uh, Dave Ramsey talking about the total money maker or creating a budget, the budget is just basically telling your money what to do. You tell your money what to do. And if you tell your money, tell yourself, okay, this is my savings money that I'm taking off the top. This is my profit. I'm taking off the top. Um, you are already starting in a position that you're winning instead of saving it for later on. And so I think that's really the key is you know you hear people making 500,000, 800,000, and they keep saying like, well, I'm making this money, but it's not enough. And somebody else would say, if I made 500,000 or 800,000, I would that would be enough for me. But it's like your expenses grow as you make money. So it's a matter of allocation. And I appreciate you sharing, Rosado. Thank you. Lawrence, are you in the house?
Good morning.
Good morning, Lawrence.
How are you?
Good,
Put
very
on my
good.
glasses so I can see better. Um, yeah, I think I like the principles that Dave has, and I'm going to work on implementing more of them in things that I do. Um, so I think this is just the tip of the iceberg um, of ways you can structure. I like the way you're saying of having the two um, days for in the two separate accounts. So I'm going to look into that some more. Um, he has many different books. So which one is this from specifically, Andy?
Yeah, this is not Dave Ramsey or the Atomic
Okay.
Habits. This is Mike Horowitz. And
Your
the book, can you hear me?
your own philosophy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's a Profit First. It's one of the books that are recommended for people who are starting a business, and also even for your own personal finances. And he has like a movie that he made, and how what triggered it for him was he had a business, he was successful, all his money went, and he was completely broke. And he had to say that to tell his wife about this. It was really a devastating moment for him. And his little girl, he had to explain to his little girl that he was not going to be going to an amusement park. And his little girl walked away from the table. And then she went into a room and picked up her little piggy bank, brung it to her dad, and says, "Here, Dad, you can use this, and maybe we can pay some of our bills." And it just broke him. It just to see his little girl do that. It just so it triggered him to figure out a way of paying himself, taking out his profit and taking out his owner's pay before paying all the bills. And when he did that, he found himself working with only what he had left over. And somehow he was able to take what was left over to pay his bills. And if he wouldn't have done that, he would still be broke. And so and he has a lot of examples. I kind of covered the surface of this book, but he gave an example of a way of how you can pay your bills by doing it every 10th and every 5th of the month. And then you can kind of figure out from there, you get to discover where the problems are by doing that. And the other thing he also mentioned, and I don't want to go into it too much, is that, certain industry has certain percentages. So in my industry, the inventory has a certain percentage, which is like usually about 35% is the general percentage. So I use that as a guide. It's not perfect, but I use it as a guide. So I that's pretty much it with the book. There's a lot more to it, but that's generally the philosophy behind it.
Thank you.
Andy, I have a follow-up question for you. And I know it's not your book to defend, right? But I would just love to hear your thoughts, right? Someone who is living in dire circumstances and hears this, may say something like, that sounds great, right? But that just sounds like you're moving around money, to feel better about the reality of the situation. What would you say to something like that?
Well, in a situation like that, like I probably just use myself as an example. Um, I, my wife and I, we generate money from this business, and we have found ourselves in dire straits in the sense that everything is behind. For some reason, there are things that cannot be paid, or we're struggling to pay it. And then, but I'm saying to myself, okay, but when we look at the income says that this month we into the bank, $20,000 went in there. So if $20,000 went in there, what happened? Where did it go? If $1,000 went in there, where did it go? And the first thing is to generate the income. The second thing is, if you don't have any income, what's the reason? If you are generating income and you don't have it, why don't you have it? Or if you're not generating income, then the problem is not your expenses. The problem is you have to find a way of making some money. So once you are generating income, you have to you have to allocate it. And so we were in dire straits. And so through his example, have been able to organize my accounts in a way where it's forced me to take out my owner's pay and my profit now, not wait for it later. And then use what's left over to pay the expensive. And if I couldn't pay, but at least I'm aware now why I can't pay it and what the problem. One of the problems that we had was we thought we were spending 35-40% on the inventory. My wife wasn't doing that. She was spending 60 to 65% on inventory. So our problem is our purchases. We are spending way beyond what we need to spend. She was just buying left and right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with no indication as to like what she was just buying inventory. So now we created a system where we're going to buy 2 to 3 times a week, and we have a specific amount that we use after we take out our money. And it's helped us. It's helped us. And it's not perfect. You have to go, some people try to take 20% of their money up front. And one of the things that he says is that you don't do that. You start with like 1 to 2% and take that out and then build up slowly, because you don't want to take out 20% of your money and then you gotta, kind of have an organized system. But that's the way, if a person's in dire straits, you got to figure out why you're in that condition and start right in that situation. It's either an income problem or an expense problem. And I find that most of us may have a problem with managing what we receive. If we really see what's coming in, what's happening to it, and at least becoming aware, you know why your money is not there. And that's really important. I think it's an analysis that we all have to make. And this book gives us some of the tools or ideas. This guy's a multimillionaire who went broke 2 or 3 times and figured out a way to use accounting principles and human nature to fix the problem. I'm not sure if I really answered your
No,
question,
no, no,
but
no. So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's starting with where you originally started, right? Which is it's human nature, to scale according to your plate, right? So basically, you're not trying to continue to keep the same plate. You're trying to make the plate smaller so that you can force yourself to adapt to that particular place so that you don't change what you need, you change what you're blowing, basically.
yeah, exactly.
And how do you put also the payroll system that you can put in place, that you can put processes to automatically invest your money, automatically have saving, and automatically also pay SAN. We use ADP, paid SAM the taxes, and also paid your salary and pay the salary to your employee. So in that way, you have your money covered. I remember that I have the same questions years ago, and I started using a company that round out all the money that is on a daily basis and got that money outside for this investment company directly. That now they get inside your bank account and they go get money from you, whatever. So, when they less expected, when we needed to close down the house, we have 10, 15, $20,000 right there that we didn't know that it was like being used and taken from us from the beginning. So, done the payroll system, like a good payroll system, a good accountant, a good investing saving system automatically related to your um, business could solve also the issue.
Yeah, I mean, you could use your small business. You can use like some bill pay systems. I know that I tried before doing like when I had a business where I had staff, because the business I have right now is just me and my wife, and we use independent contractors for anything that we need otherwise. But when I had a business where I had employees, I try to do the taxes and stuff like that myself. But what I did was I hired a company called ADP, and that company would pay my employees their checks every 2 weeks. And um, they would tell me how much money I needed to have in the account that would cover my taxes and everything else. And I let them run with it. And I had that separated and they would handle that because payroll is a monster. I just feel like it's a difficult thing and one more difficult thing to handle, but a person can do it. Business
Mhm.
owner on his own can do it. But I usually hired like independent company like ADP, pay them a fee, and they handle all the checks. They would mail the checks out to the employee. They would take out all the federal taxes that I needed, and I had peace of mind. So that's how I did it back in the day. I just wanted to mention real quick, Dr. Pina, that I have a class at 6.
Okay.
Um, um, just um, just to let you know that you might need to take over.
Yep. At 6, I finished with the presentation of the tiers, and we'll let you go. We'll present the tiers, and we'll finish it up, and we'll
Okay.
come back next week. Hopefully, if you can give us your take on the book of the science of scaling,
Yes.
it will be. We would like to see your opinion because maybe we are biased and dreaming
Yeah.
on, but your opinion will be very well uh, taken for.
Yes, absolutely. I'll read up on it this entire week. All right. And did everyone share? We lost Dr. Z, um, but okay. Well, this right now concludes my portion of the Money Mondays lesson, and and I hope you guys got something out of it. I will definitely be touching base the following week in reference to the science of scaling. And Dr. Pina, you can take over from me at this point.
Thank you, and we
Thank you,
hope
Andy.
also that we can meet. Thank you very much, Andy, and
Thank
talk
you, Andy.
about. And this is where we are right now. We have built a complete system that we call the 60P Stillness and Wellness Club. And if you want to be a member of our club, Peer Foundation Build the Self, where disciplines begins, is 99 a month. Start here, build the foundations of disciplines, identity, and then the transformations. It includes daily 5 a.m. stillness session, the 5 transformative path, 60P, weekly Money Monday, as we have just presented today with Andy Jiménez. Cool community access. We're building this accountability system. You don't join a group, you become someone new. But you can start with Ascend, rise with the structure. Structure turns efforts into result. That's me. 189 a month, that's where I started. Turn disciplines into actions and actions into measurable results. Include everything in tier one, weekly small group coaching. You can participate in our Monday, Congress Monday. You only if you are 199. Monthly hot seats sessions. You can feel the heat of people putting year contracts, and weekly and monthly achievements and little wins. Performance tracking system, priority supports and access. Structure creates results, consistency creates identity for you. You know, we are live that you're seeing us, listening to Andy Jimenez Money Monday. If you want to go beyond the essence you have for you, alchemy. With alchemy, you transforms at depths, change inner architecture of your life. 999 a month, high level transformation for sales operators and leaders. Includes everything in tier two, direct access to leadership, weekly close mastermind, psychoanalytic, psychological deep work, life and business design, identity shift permanently, transformations become your standard. And finally, I pledge that by December 31st, I will be leading, multiplying, and impacting more with build what outlives you. So 15,000, 5,000 to 15,000 a year. And you want to be in the level legacy, you can come to the club like this. This is for leaders, for executives, organizations ready to create lasting impact, for family also, for group of any kind, for school, for institution, center. And it includes everything in tier three, but private intensives and strategy advisory, corporate PHM programs, clinical supervisions and leadership developments, exclusive retreats, and high level access. Proximity to power accelerates everything. This is who we are. We are the 60P Stillness Awareness Club, and we brought you to Andy Jimenez with the Money Monday. Hopefully, we'll be getting deeper into the science of scaling by David Benjamin Hardy and Meg Edison. We have also to finish that. We have four new coaches that were passed their oral exam yesterday. We're still pending for the 1 year contract. But Victor Jimenez, but Victor Catano, uh, Gregory Delizar, Rosaura Van Rail, and Lawrence Coretz pass and our 60P certified coaches. And with that information, I will let you go, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow mornings, God willing. Thank you very much for being here, and bye bye.
Blessed day.